This one indicator does four things on your chart at the same time. It gives you buy and sell signals. It marks the exact point where the market structure breaks, telling you the previous structure has failed and control may be shifting. It plots an adaptive stop-loss level that moves with the volatility of the market instead of a fixed distance. And as the trend continues, it keeps adding profit targets one after another. Look at this trade here. 3 targets hit. This one, 4 targets. And this one, the trend kept running and the targets kept stacking. And none of these levels were drawn manually. The indicator behind everything you just saw is called the Market Structure Trend Matrix by BigBeluga. Open the Indicators menu, search for Market Structure Trend Matrix, and select the version by BigBeluga. I'm keeping the settings at default, so your chart should look like this. Let's look at the first thing it gives you, the buy and sell signals. Watch what happens here. The whole matrix changes color. Green when price breaks above a major swing high, pink when it breaks below a swing low. So, the indicator is watching the levels that were holding the trend, and the moment a candle closes past one of them, it flips. In this strategy, that flip is our buy and sell signal. Green means buyers have control, pink means sellers do. Now, an important thing to remember is that this signal alone is not our entry. It is only a candidate, and I'll show you the condition that has to line up with it. Next, let's look at this line. When price moves up, it sits below the candles in green, and when price moves down, it sits above in pink. It is built from ATR, so the distance it keeps from price adapts to how much the market is moving, not a fixed number of dollars. As the trend expands, it advances step by step behind the move, and during minor pullbacks it stays firm instead of reacting to every candle. And this is the line we trail our stop with. Now, the fourth thing, the profit targets. These are also calculated from ATR, so they expand and contract with market conditions instead of fixed distances. At first, you only see the first target. Once price reaches it, the next target appears, and this continues as long as the trend runs. Later, when we manage a trade, we only move the stop after a candle has closed beyond the target. The percentages next to them are measured from the point where the trend structure failed. That is the whole indicator, and it does its job perfectly. It tells you the exact moment the trend structure fails. But here is the thing you need to understand. A broken level and a trend reversal are not the same event. Look at this example. The matrix flipped here because price closed past the last swing level, a correct signal. And this is exactly where you would expect a reversal to begin. Now watch what happens. Price turns straight back around. Let's zoom out and look at this. The trend was already running long before that flip, and it kept running after it, so the break was only a deep pullback inside a trend that was still alive. Here is the real problem. At the moment of the flip, a reversal and a pullback look identical, and price alone cannot tell you which one you have. We need a second input, something that measures force instead of structure, because when a trend is truly dying, momentum weakens before the level breaks. Open the Indicators menu again and search for RSI, the Relative Strength Index, and we use it with its default settings to identify divergence. Now, what is divergence? Look here. Price pushed up and made a higher high, but when we look down at RSI, it made a lower high, which tells you buyers are still moving price, but with less force behind each push. That is what we call a bearish divergence, an early warning that the trend is weakening. The bullish version is the mirror. Price makes a lower low, while RSI makes a higher low. So, sellers are running out of pressure. But divergence only warns us that momentum is weakening. It does not confirm that the market has reversed. For that, we still need price to break the level that was holding the trend. And that brings us to the change of character. What does that actually mean? In an uptrend, price makes higher highs and higher lows. And the key is that last higher low, the level buyers are defending. When a candle closes below it, buyers have failed. And that is a change of character. In a downtrend, it is reversed. The last lower high is the level sellers are defending, so a candle closing above it breaks that structure. Now, here is the part most people get wrong. A break in the same direction the trend is going is just continuation. Only a break against the trend counts. And the candle body has to close past the level, a wick is not enough. I'm using Bitcoin on the 1-hour chart because its trend legs generally give the adaptive targets more room to extend. The same rules can work on 5 or 15 minutes, but lower time frames often contain more noise, more frequent flips, and more signals inside ranges, so they require extra context. Let's apply these rules and we'll take a short trade first. For a short, we need two things: a bear divergence on RSI, and then a candle closing below the last higher low, in that order. Following this uptrend, price pushes to a new high, but when we look at RSI, it makes a lower high. And there is our bear divergence. That is our first condition. Then, a few candles later, this one closes below the last higher low, and the matrix flips. That is our second. So, we enter short on the open of the next candle, and for the initial stop, we find the highest high inside that divergence pattern and place the stop just above it, because if price pushes back above that high, the momentum warning was wrong and there is no reason to stay in the trade. Now, here is the management part, and this is where most of the value is. The first target sits here, and when a candle closes below it, we do not close the position, we move our stop down to just above the adaptive line. And you might be wondering why we do not just take that first target and leave. Here is the reason. When a trend commits on the 1 hour, it does not stop at one target, it moves through several. And if you exit at the first, your reward is capped no matter how far the move runs. By trailing instead, a strong setup has the room to deliver several times what you risked, 1 to 3, or in an extended trend, even 1 to 5. And that is what an extended trend can produce, not what every trade produces. Back to the trade. The second target appears, price closes beyond it, and we trail the stop down again to just above the line. Then the third target appears, and we do exactly the same thing. Every time, we move the stop in the trade's direction, so the amount we can lose keeps shrinking while the position stays open. Eventually, price reaches the trailed stop above the adaptive line, and the trade closes with the profit already protected. If this is helping so far, hit the like button and subscribe for more strategy breakdowns like this one. Now let's look at a long and everything here is mirrored. This time, we need a bull divergence on RSI first, and then a candle closing above the last lower high. Coming out of this downtrend, price makes a lower low, but when we look at RSI, it makes a higher low, and there is our bull divergence. Then this candle closes above the last lower high, and the matrix flips, so both of our conditions are in place. We enter long on the open of the next candle, and this time we find the lowest low inside the divergence pattern and place our initial stop just below it. Then we manage it the same way. Price closes above the first target, and instead of taking profit and leaving, we trail our stop up to just below the adaptive line, which cuts the remaining risk. Then the next target appears, price closes beyond it, and we trail up again, and again after that. Every time the trend delivers another target, we follow behind with our stop, never in front of it. So we are always protecting what the trend has already given us. We continue trailing until price eventually reaches the stop below the adaptive line and closes the trade. And that brings us to the last part, and the most important one. Trailing your stop reduces risk as the trade develops, but it never removes it. A trade can still reverse before your stop moves past your entry. And there is no strategy with a 100% win rate, so your position size matters more than any indicator on your chart. Keeping your risk to around 1% on each trade helps keep a losing streak manageable, so a few losses in a row are something you can absorb and trade through. This video is for educational purposes only and is not financial advice. Do your own research and trade at your own risk.